What's up, Boro Nation? And welcome to the Boro Buzz, the all-access pass to everything sports in and around the borough. We're talking inside the lines and behind the scenes, athletes, coaches, refs, and the stories you don't hear on game day. If it's happening in the gym, on the field, or in the locker room, you'll hear it here. This is the Boro Buzz.
All right, great first segment. Welcome back to the Boro Buzz. And I'm here with standout, he's going to hate me for saying this, but standout Asheboro coach Wes Luther, good friend of mine, someone who's helped me in my coaching journey and kind of mentored me the last couple of years. Dude, you can say what you want, but if you look right now, 2021, they were 4-20, 22, 4-21, 23, 6-19, and in 2024, they were 5-18. Wes, this year you're already at 10 wins. When you took this job, what was the first thing that made you think, okay, this is a lot bigger than what I expected?
I mean, I knew it was going to be a big job from the jump. You know, it was kind of ran in the ground after the state championship run. That, you know, all the focus was put on the first five, and Coach Corey, you know, he kind of ran it in the ground there for a little bit, and he got out of Dodge once they went 4-20. And to be honest with you, Mike Haddon's a great dude. He inherited a tough situation and did the best he could with it and put us a foundation to keep building on it. And, you know, the biggest thing is just, you know, instilling the work ethic and changing the culture and all those things that happen when you turn the program around. This ain't our first go around. I mean, you know, I had the opportunity at Providence Grove to turn the program around, and, you know, that wasn't easy. And then we had to fight COVID up there and all those different things.
Got a couple guys right now playing college ball at Clay for you, too.
Yeah. We were fortunate enough. We put, you know, my oldest stepson, he played college ball at Sand Hills. Michael Fees at Methodist now. Jonathan Faust, who will be one of my all-time favorites. He just graduated from Lynchburg last spring. Heck of a player. He's the first East-West All-Star in Providence Grove history. Zane Cottle still playing at Brevard.
Saw some post of him. Yeah.
Plays Thursday next week at Greensboro College. You know. And we were also fortunate enough with Coach Luke Thomas, who, you know, Luke and Zane was just a dynamic backcourt that I don't know if I'll ever have a gift to coach a backcourt like that again. You know, Luke plays baseball at UNCG. You know, I was blessed up there. And, you know, jumping over to the girls' side, we're facing an uphill battle. We've won 10 games. You know, that's exceeded some people's expectations, but as a coach, you're never fully pleased. I feel like we could be better. We've let some get away. Some games we should have won, and we led late. But
you gave a run at that Christmas tournament. I mean, you made it all the way to the championship, upset a really good Southwest girls program.
Yeah, you know, man, that win was different. You know, when you're trying to change a program, that first year, if you can get one you're not supposed to get,
yeah,
like that's a step in the right direction. You know, down 7 with 21 seconds to go. And everything had to fall our way, and it did. You know, we got an offensive rebound. We had a 5-second call. You know, Kaylee Brown made a basketball decision. You know, that was not the play.
I was about to ask you because the screen, she came out, and I was like, I think she's supposed to swing it.
Yeah, she was supposed to swing it off the double stagger, but she made a basketball play right there and, you know, knocked down a big shot, and then we went to overtime and just, you know, kind of took it over from there. I think that was the first time they beat Southwest probably since before COVID.
Yeah.
So that was huge for us. And then we went into that third night against Eastern Guilford, which was a conference opponent. And as a coach, I still kick myself a little bit because I had us underprepared.
Yeah.
Those quick turnarounds are tough because your scouting reports, those things, that nature, you don't necessarily know who your opponent's going to be till the night of, and then, you know, you got 24 hours basically to get your team ready. And, you know, no knock on what Eastern Guilford done. I mean, they played a great basketball game. You know, she had a great plan, and we were just underprepared, and I didn't do a good enough job that night for us to win that basketball game. So, yeah, we made a run in that Christmas tournament I'm pretty proud of. Hopefully things are going to keep going in the right direction.
I think so too, man. But here's the thing. When you take on a rebuild, you've done it before. What's the toughest thing to get the players to understand?
Oh, it's the culture. Like, and you know, I know that's a cliche you hear if you're scrolling through your reels or whatever, and you hear coaches talk about the culture. And I'll be honest with you, sitting here, you ask me to give you the exact definition on it, I probably can't. But I can give you a bunch of little things that go into culture, wearing practice gear, coming into practice ready, not having your phone sitting on the bleachers in practice, having walkthroughs before games, having practices over holidays, and then getting down into the detail of it. We're defensive driven. We're not a great offensive team. So if you're not going to work on the defensive end, you're going to have a hard time playing for me. Yep. And I don't care if you're my best player or my worst player. If you're not out there defending, you're not going to play. And that
you've made adjustments. I've seen it this year.
That from the culture standpoint, and then obviously the off season stuff. If you're going to nowadays, if you're going to do things the right way and you're going to be successful, you've got to work at it. And that's not just November to February. You've helped me a lot with my summer stuff and Coach Nance, and we do that stuff all summer long, and then we go all spring and we do all fall, and getting the girls to understand like that stuff. If you want to be average, it's volunteer. It's voluntarily. Like, you ain't got to be there, but if you want to be great, we got to be in the gym. So those things, they play a lot. And I'll tell you something too that's probably been a little tough is I'm not easy to play for, and people will tell you that. I'm demanding. I'm old school. You're going to do it. Like, if I tell you to run, you're going to run. If I tell you to get on the floor, you're going to get on the floor. Like, it's a non-negotiable.
I'll send you mad.
And it just them adapting to that, and me adapting to coaching girls basketball.
Yeah,
it's a little different. The game speed. Just understanding with boys. They're always, for the most part, they're always serious. They come in and they're locked in for the game. They're ready to play. They're focused. Girls, like, sometimes you got to give them their 20 or 30 seconds to get a laugh out and then bring it back focused. So that's been an adjustment.
Who's been the clown on the team?
Oh, there's several of them. There ain't just one of them. There's several of them. I can't name them all, but they're.
I think you got a couple coming up from middle school too.
Yeah. We've got some pieces coming middle school wise. If we can develop those pieces, and in today's world, if you can keep them, because if you're not going after your own kids, somebody else is. Yeah.
And they've been talking. You've ruffled some feathers in good ways and bad, but people are saying they're loving what they're seeing at Asheboro with the girls program.
We're trying to get it in the right spot. It's better than we found it already. But I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied. We can be better. And I'm not trying to build this thing to be average. I'm trying to build this thing to make playoff runs. Yep. That's our goal.
And as I shift gears a little bit, one thing that I feel like hurts a lot of kids is the parents in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
One thing, what's the biggest mistake that you think as a coach you've seen in all your years that parents are doing that's hurting their kids?
And this is another old cliche. You can tell I've been around a lot of old, seasoned veteran coaches. Team chemistry's ruined at the dinner table.
Yeah.
And I know that cliché's changed a lot because there probably ain't many families that sit at the dinner table anymore. Everybody sits on their phones and everybody sits and watches TV. But, when you got dad or mom, you sit down, you eat supper, and you got dad or mom, why'd your coach doing this? Why'd your coach do this? That's stupid. Your coach should be doing this. Your coach should be doing that. And, sometimes I just, step in our shoes. Come out here and make a nickel an hour.
Yeah.
To pour into other kids. I've never done it for the money, never will.
Yep.
But come out here and pour what we pour in for a nickel an hour, if that.
Negative, really, because you spend most of your coach's stipend on stuff for the kids.
Yeah, well, when we have an away game or we have a home game now that we're in Guilford County, and the last game don't start till 8:15, 8:30 some nights. Me and Coach Nance don't leave the school to 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
at least. At the earliest, and then you got to turn around and you're at school the next day working. So. It just that one stuck with me for years because parents can be the best thing for the child, but they can turn around and be the worst thing for the child in the same sentence. Like they can be the person that gets them everywhere they need to be, that puts them in the right places, that puts them to wherever they need to be successful. But then in that same breath, they can have that player so messed up mentally because your nature as a kid is to please your parent.
Yep.
That's the nature of the kid, and I applaud these parents that kind of stand back.
Yeah.
Because I've got my own kids, and I'm that type of person. I stand back and watch my kids. I like to just go stand on the baseline, keep my mouth shut, and if my child has a question about basketball and we get in the car, we talk about it. If he don't, he don't. It is what it is. But
a lot of them look in the stands at their parents. The same parents.
Oh, yeah.
And you see the eyes go up there, and that's one of my pet peeves. I cannot stand.
That goes on a lot, man. We're dealing with that. I mean, you're going to deal with that anywhere you coach for the most part, especially in basketball because everybody's so close.
Yep.
Everybody's right on top of you. It's not like football. People are 30, 40, 50 yards away from you. Like, they're right on top of you. And, that's a tough battle.
Yeah.
But, it's just one we face. It's what we do what we do.
And as we wrap up here, would you, Coach, any advice for those kids coming up to get ready? I mean, some of them they come from, like you said, it's a culture shock to go from middle school to varsity level. Obviously, you're probably going to have a JV program next year, more than likely. Yeah. But the advice to those kids that are in 8th grade, soon to be rising freshmen. Yeah,
you just got to put the work in. We always say, summer's optional, but so is playing time.
Yep.
If I don't see you in the summer and can see what you can do, then you better really make an impact in November. When we start tryouts, you better be just unbelievable and really catch my eye, because if I didn't see you all summer long, then it's going to be a tough road. Now, we're trying to get some AAU stuff started too. We've got a couple people that are going to put a girls team together for us with our kids and try to build on that and, try to get them playing together, put them up in the varsity division, even with the rising freshmen, and just let them go ahead and get their feet wet. And, the hope is obviously to have a JV team, but, the dwindling numbers make it tough.
Yeah.
Kids just don't play sports like they used to. You don't just see it with basketball. I mean, you look what High Point Central done with their varsity football program. You've seen all kinds of people didn't have JV football teams this year and things of that nature. I mean,
it's even the middle school program that's had to combine teams.
Yeah, kids just aren't playing like they're used to. But one thing, Johnny, before we end the segment, I want to talk about, just take a little time, is one, thank you for everything you do. Not only coaching our kids at NAMS, but what you do for everybody in the community, the kids. You always help me out. If I'm frustrated, I pick up a phone, I call you. If you're frustrated, you pick up a phone, you call me. You're showcasing all the athletes in the county and trying to bring some attention to, the kids that deserve it. And, as an inspiring coach, you just got to keep working at it, and I'll tell you this, and this is not something I had planned in my head, but, talk a little bit about my path to coaching. And this just ain't just you. This is anybody that's listening that wants to be a coach. Surround yourself with people that know what they're doing. I've been very, very fortunate. I've been with Brian Nance for, God, feels like an eternity now, and he'll laugh at that. But, I'm aging as bad as he is. I've been with him, 10 years now. But even when I was in the Pac-7, me and Tim Kelly had a good relationship. We'd pick up the phone and talk for an hour. And another guy up the road that just got inducted to the Hall of Fame with Tim Kelly, Tommy Cole from Burlington Williams. Mm-hmm. Me and Coach Cole used to have several conversations. And you just listen.
Yep.
You listen, and I'll say this, though, with all those people, I've got a great relationships with Varner and Baxter and all those people, Nance, that have all had a impact on my coaching career. I'll tell you the one person, that's probably impacted my coaching career that just made me say, hey, that's what I'm going to do, is probably my dad.
Oh, nice.
And, there's not a lot of things that are talked about. My dad didn't coach middle school ball. My dad didn't coach high school basketball.
Did AAU because my brother played for him.
My dad coached AAU ball and what they called them parent-teacher organization basketball, PTO.
The Knights, right?
Corey Lowe out here, he played in some of the leagues my parents ran. And I'll tell you this, my dad had a huge impact on me as far as a coach because he was fair.
Love it.
He was fair. And you earned your spot and you earned your keep. And being the coach's son taught me a lot of lessons. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to work twice as hard to get what you want, because somebody out there is going to have something to say about what I give you.
Yep.
And you've got to earn it twice as hard. And his work ethic, not just as far as coaching us, now stepping back, realizing, my dad's been in business 40 years painting, and I work with him a lot. Now, looking back, and man, that dude was working 10, 12-hour days and then coming to the gym with me and practicing our AAU team for 2 hours, and then going and playing the weekends, and then going back to work. And you look back on it now as a parent, you go, man, like, that was something.
Yep.
And the time he poured in, and I think he was probably the ultimate one that I made the decision, hey, I'm going to be a coach.
Yep.
And, I'm shed some light too on my mom. She's always held it down in the family, dad working all the time and getting us where we needed to be. And, man, coming out of high school in 2008, I didn't really want to go to college. I was like, man, I don't care nothing about college. I want to go make money, and my mom was dead set, you're going to get an education. And, education and coaching at the same time sound like a pretty good gig. And, I just want to take a few minutes to shed some light on my dad. He's a great man, and, he really instilled a lot of values in me that I feel like's really helped me as far as coaching.
Yeah.
So
yeah, same. My dad's the same way. He's not missed a game. He's there. Even the championship. There's a photo of him arm around me when we won the championship.
That's that man. You can't. You just can't put a price tag on those lessons.
Yep.
And I wish I was gifted. I grew up in a 2-parent home, and that's given me a whole different side of things with a lot of the kids I deal with on a daily basis. I see both sides of it. But once again, Johnny, I want to appreciate you having me here. Once again, everything you do. You finally got me here.
Finally. I was telling Medley over here. I didn't think I was going to get you. I was pushing.
Yeah, I was just telling them out here, man, that this ain't my thing. The spotlight. I like. It's just not my thing. I like to be standing back in the back and being the guy that just watches everybody else celebrate. I don't like being front and center.
I'll just wait that water bath's coming soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I actually have one of those at Providence Grove, man. I'm gonna tell you what. I told them, they said something. If we win it, we're gonna give you a Gatorade bath or whatever. And I was thinking, man, they'll throw water on me. It was Gatorade, man. I was sticky for weeks.
Dude, you got me last year in the championship. You gave that speech in the locker room. We got video of it. I'm about to put it on here.
Oh, yeah.
I used to get you. You get to tell you, good catch, Coach Robbins.
That goes back, man, to the turnaround you've made at NAMS. You done something that hadn't been done since what was it,
1998?
98, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And then we just had our second consecutive winning season, top 5 finish.
And I tell middle school parents all the time, if you can find a good middle school coach nowadays, you're in a good spot. It's this tough. The money you make and the hours you put in, and to do it right. So you're doing a good job.
Appreciate it.
And we appreciate everything you do.
Well, awesome, man. We got 2 left segments, and both of them are with Levi Dalkey, and the following one's with Mr. Brody Lowe. What you think about that, Coach?
Oh man, you won't find 2 better kids. I'm fortunate. I've got a different side of it. I coached them in 3rd and 4th grade, and I've watched them grow up. I grew up with Corey, and I've known Levi Dalkey since his elementary school days when I was teaching elementary PD.
I got whipped by both of them. My first year coaching, Levi and Brody had to put it on me. It was pretty rough.
I can tell you this. That's 2 outstanding young men that you're about to have a chance to speak with.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you, Coach.
Yep.
Ready to dominate social media? Meet Core AI Media, your expert team of videographers and digital strategists powering data-driven campaigns with cutting-edge AI. We analyze, target, engage, monitor in real time, and deliver results that surprise industry standards. From skyrocketing engagement to crushing your goals, we are measured by results. Contact Core AI Media today at info@coreaimedia.com. Let's grow your brand fast.